Hi everybody, I hope you guys are all doing well today. Sorry about the video drought. I've just been a little, I guess, just uninspired lately. I do have a video hopefully coming out, well, not soon-ish, within a couple weeks, just because my birthday is coming up very, very soon actually, within like a week or so, and it's a big one. So I'll be turning the big 3-0. But yeah, so I might just do a video on that. I have no idea quite yet. But I did need to get this one done. I was planning on doing this one a lot earlier, but with Chinese New Year, it got pushed back and everything. So, and I knew this is going to be a little bit more controversial of a video, but I just kind of wanted to do it just because I was really curious about it. They reached out to me and I just wanted to do a video. I said that I was just going to give my honest opinion and share the bag with you guys. I personally don't own any, except for this one, of replicas or fakes or however you want to say it. They're just generally not my cup of tea, not my thing, but usually I feel like a lot of people who are sent these kind of bags or purchase these bags, you know, they're going for like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, like those kinds of things. But I saw that they had Coach, and I am a very big Coachy, if you will, and I said, you know, it would be very interesting to get like a Coach bag through these guys and just see how they are, you know, just because I feel like most people get, you know, those more expensive bags when they do this. So I said, yes, I'll do it. And I picked a Tabby just because I am very familiar with the Tabbies. And yeah, I just have two right here in front of me of my own that are real, that I did purchase. And then I have this guy right here from, I think it's Babla or something around there. So yeah, so it does come in this box, which is interesting. It is magnetic. I did briefly open it for a second just to make sure that it was the right product, but all the packaging is still on there. It does come with this little thing right here, and then a very interesting note, as you can see right there. And then it also comes with these things right here, which obviously none of this stuff ever comes in like a real Coach purchase, at least not in the United States. So that was all very interesting. And then you have just like plain tissue paper right here. And then you do put this over here to the side. And then it does come with a dust bag, which Coach dust bags are notoriously not great, but I would say the quality of this maybe feels a little bit less. You can see there's just some little hangy doodads there. Not to say that Coach bags don't do that with their dust bags, they're not great either, but I'd say this is probably still even a step down from that. But taking this one out, it does smell a little bit like a factory. And then we have this one right here. So this is the Quilted Tabby. This is in the size 26. This is also black on black, but this is like the pewter hardware. So I don't have the Quilted Tabby 26 in the leather. I have it in the denim, but I do have the wristlet in the same kind of material and everything that's supposed to, and then I have the size 26, so I'm kind of like measure kind of both of them. It's not like 100% totally accurate and scientific, but obviously I have seen these guys out in person and in the wild, so I thought let's just do a video on it regardless. So let me just get all the plastic and stuff off of it first. It is pretty well, you might hear my cats running around in the background. They have their little zoomies stuff in the background. Gosh, they're really going crazy. Of course, they were sleeping earlier, so as soon as I pull up the camera and start talking, then they're gonna be like, whoa, what's going on? What's the dad doing? My goodness, maybe I should have done this all before. Yes, it very much so smells like a factory. I will say that without a doubt. But that is to be expected with a lot of these bags and companies. Okay. Oop. Okay. This is very interesting, you guys. Very, very interesting. Okay, I think I have... we still have some? Oh, the little silica packet. Okay. So, I'll say this just right off the get-go. I think it looks pretty good from afar if you don't really know a lot about like Coach bags in general. I'd say the quilting, it looks pretty good. Not like super great as far as like, I mean, it's pretty good, I will say. There are a couple things where it maybe looks like a little bit off, but for the most part from afar it looks just like your Tabby, Quilted Tabby 26. Nothing too crazy. And then in the back you still have this, which is still a magnetic clasp right there. The bottom part right there. I will just grab my other, so this is the one in the denim. Oop. This one has been through hell and back. I feel so sorry for it because I do use it, and it's probably like, I really want it to be like on someone's shelf where it's just sitting and looking pretty and not being like a used and abused. But okay, here we have it. The size is pretty comparable. I would say I think they did a pretty good job on the actual sizing of it. Just so you can kind of compare just the quilt. Oh gosh, this lighting is gonna be a nightmare for me. There, you can see there, and then just the quilting on here. So just kind of compare. And then I also have this one right here. So this is the wristlet. Okay, so obviously this is going to be a lot smaller. Okay, so that's just kind of like the, just the quilting of it. It's not bad by any means whatsoever. I do actually like that they did actually include the little magnetic enclosure in the back. I will say the chain is very light. It is very, very light, especially compared to this guy right here. There is a very noticeable difference about just the heft and weight of it. This is very heavy and substantial. This one right here is definitely a lot lighter than your real Tabby right here. Again, that's something that I expected as well. Okay, moving along. So we have the chain. It's a little bit lighter. The hang tag right here. Let me check the printing. The printing's not great. Let me see if I can. This lighting's gonna be the death of me. The death of me. I don't know if you're gonna really. Of course, I get like a black bag, which has like. So the printing on it is, I would say, not like amazing by any means whatsoever. It does say Coach New York on the bottom, but you can tell right here it's also very not substantial as well. And then on this one right here, it's just thicker. Or has like a more solid kind of material being used, I guess you could say. So this one I can just easy, even on this guy right here. I know this tag's a little bit smaller, but it's a little bit more. But this one, it's just, I can like bend this in half like that without any problem. And then this one right here, I'd have to like really kind of work for it to actually bend it. So this one, it is just a little bit thinner, I want to say, or even just the quality is just not quite there. Let me see if I can. It'll focus. No, I just kind of look like a nut job a little bit. But I feel like this one is just a little bit thinner than the other one, and it's just not as malleable. Okay, so we have those outward features right here. And then as far as the actual C goes on here, it just looks a little bit different. It's pretty good, I will say. The C on this, it is pretty good. It just looks like a little bit... There's just like something slightly different about it, and the only way that I could really know that is just having just ones from Coach. But I would say this one is pretty good. You can hear that, that's pretty good. He's huffing the fumes. But yeah, so that, hey. So this is supposed to be with Napa leather. I will say this definitely feels kind of, it feels like leather, but I wouldn't say that it feels like Napa leather. This one right here is Napa leather. This just feels so soft and smooth and just squishy and delicate. This one has a more, it's still kind of, it just has a more, it just doesn't feel like Napa leather. I don't know how else to describe it. It doesn't feel as luxe, I guess you could say, and smooth and just squishy. There's a definite like feel from this one to this one, which is Napa leather from Coach. So just a little bit of differences there. And then obviously I can't really compare this one just because this is denim, but they are a lot more squishy. There's a lot more like padding in it. From these ones than it is in this one as well. It just feels thinner and not as robust. Another thing is for this right here, it's pretty good. It's like the similar locking thing. Obviously, I think it's a lot better on the real deal. It just feels better and stronger and sturdier, but I feel for the most part, I'm actually kind of impressed with how they were able to replicate this one. They did, as you can see, get the Coach stamping right there. And then let me show you this one. So, it looks not bad. It is just a little off, I would say. I don't even know this one. It's maybe slightly off, but it's actually really not that bad. That one might be a little bit harder to tell that there's something just a little off with it. One of the big giveaways right here is none of mine have this one just because I don't have the 26 in the Napa leather, but you don't necessarily need that in order to kind of tell the difference on this. So let me just show you. You can see that the Napa leather is all kind of smashed together in one word. Obviously that is not quite how it's supposed to work. Look, there is supposed to be a space between Napa leather. That is not one word. But for the most part, it's actually pretty well centered, which I know a lot of them aren't necessarily always centered. So that one's nice. I don't know, I can't remember if the real 26 leather version is like this, but this one, it kind of, see how it like folds down to where you have the creasing right there. And then on the denim version, at least, you do have just the lining actually right there on the front pocket right there. So I don't know if that was just the denim version or whether or not this is actually something that's a little bit different. But you do have your magnetic clasp right here, which is nice. And then you do have your pocket on the inside right here. You do have some kind of stitching mishaps right here. As you can see, there's the string that's kind of going haywire in here. And then you do have your two pockets right here, just like the regular one. And then, so even the little zipper pull is pretty similar. I would say they did a pretty good job on that. You do have Coach on both sides of this. So I feel like that's pretty similar. The inside lining feels different though. Very, very different. This right here feels very, very different. This feels like fabric. This feels like kind of like a, and you can also do this. I can't even do that. Hi there everybody, sorry my camera died. But as I was saying, you can pretty much pull this all the way out like this. In the regular version, you can kind of pull it a little bit, but you can't like pull it all the way out, if that makes sense, because it is kind of fastened down. Also, one other thing I noticed is the locking mechanism is different. I don't know if you can see kind of how that looks right there. Okay, now let me grab the other one out. You see how that's different? So the actual inside mechanism part is different. And then again, this fabric, it's just different. It's not real. Well, I mean, it is a real fabric probably, but it's not like the other Coach bags. Again, same thing right here. That's going to be the same stuff on all of these. You do have a little horse and carriage stamp thing right there, which looks a little funky. It looks very funky, to be honest. Does mine even have that? The denim one doesn't. Not that. Oh, it does a little bit. Just kidding. It's like the little. It's, you know. I don't know if you're able to. It's just like fabric. It's not like a weird pleather piece. That looks just funky. And it says made in Vietnam. I don't know if the leather one has that. Oh, it does. See, the more you know. Let me just remove the chain. so it does have that, but this one, the printing on it just is not, it just looks a little off, and it's not as nice, you could say. As far as the story patch goes, I mean, the numbers are the same for the Tabby 26, but again, the actual stamping and printing on it is just not as nice as the real deal. So that is this bag pretty much. And then you do have your D-rings are different. Let me... Oh, this is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so right here, we just have a little... It's like just a little leather strip tab right there, as you can see. And then on this one right here, this is a little bit more substantial. It's actually metal. It's a little metal little tab right there, and it is does say Coach all along right there. I think I have to look, see if there's any pictures. Let me look online real quick and see. Okay, so it does look like the leather ones do have that little tab, so that is accurate for the leather ones versus it being like a little metal piece. Yeah, so that part is accurate. So instead of the quilted ones where you have this little metal thing, which I do like a lot better, I will say, you do have just a little leather pull tab on the actual leather ones. So, this has been kind of fun and interesting and a little bit, I don't know, informative, I guess you could say. Again, I'm not one to buy fake bags or anything like that. If you do, that is on you and whatever, that's fine. But it's just not my cup of tea. It's not something I will ever really do or gravitate towards. But I did think it would be interesting to kind of like just, you know, compare the two, especially because it's a more of a contemporary brand. You do actually, there is a little bit of just like the little, I don't know, leather, whatever, pieces coming out already. So I just thought it'd be interesting just to see, because everybody does LV, everybody does Hermes, everybody does all these ones. But what about Coach? Because I know sometimes they do have those listed on those kind of WhatsApp, website, kind of whatever stuff. So when they reached out, I was like, sure, this might actually be kind of fun. But again, will I use this one? No. I might keep it just for like a keepsake kind of thing, or maybe gift it to somebody who I know will actually wear it. But this is obviously not something I'm going to sell, because that is illegal and so many other things. Yeah, but just for me personally, I'm not one to buy replicas or anything like that. I'm pretty sure this is the only one I have that is. So I will put all of their information down below, because I said I would. So yeah, if you want to use it, use it. If you don't. But I did, as part of the condition, say that I would put down all that information, as long as like a discount code or something. Again, those were in the terms. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video and thought it might be kind of entertaining or interesting to see just between the two. Sorry I couldn't get like the exact kind of replica situations of both. if that makes sense, to get actually the real deal, to be a better comparison. But I thought between these two right here, I'm sure most people could kind of connect the dots or just see, you know, just the differences between these ones right here. We'll do thumbnail. Hey Butters, look. Look at the camera. This is for the thumbnail. He's like, whatever, Dad. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing really well. I'll post probably another video at some point, probably of my birthday or something. I'm not totally sure what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm kind of like a mix between I need to do something fun because it's a big one, and then back to like I don't want to actually do anything. I don't really want to think about it. So just hitting kind of like a not necessarily midlife crisis, because I'm not midlife yet. I still got plenty of time before then, but just also at the same time, just like, what am I doing with my life? All those existential crisis questions and everything. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing really well, and thank you for sticking around and watching this video, and I appreciate you guys all so much, and until the next one, ciao.